Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, or just as a refresher for those that might have been following me for a while, about a year ago I got an e-bike. So in this video I'm going to go over all of the accessories and everything I got from my e-bike and go over why I chose this bike and these accessories. So if you are an e-bike lover, let's get started. Let's meet baby, my rad mini step through 2 that I got a year ago. So after doing a lot of research, I ended up going with the Rad Mini, because one of the things that I was looking for is I really needed what we call a step-through frame, because I do have disabilities, some spinal issues, and so that was really important that I didn't have to lift and bring up my leg up over the bike. So I needed stability. Also, I'm a very short person. I'm only 5'3". So the important thing too with picking the bike that I wanted to get, not only being able to step through easily to be able to have control, was to also be able to sit on the bike and be able to touch the ground. Now I recently got a new seat, and we'll go over the seat in a little bit. So that did make things a little bit more challenging. I'm like really more like tippy toes now. So this is like the maximum height seat I could ever go with. But it still works. I am a little bit more tippy toe than the other seat that I ended up having. I rode with that other seat. It was a Cloud 9 that I put on for about a year. But I was looking for a much more wider, more comfortable seat for my spinal issue. This seat is amazing, so stay tuned when we get to that the new addition that I've done. But I'll be okay. I never really ride super fast, and it's enough. Usually the ground is a little uneven and stuff like that. I can still lean and get my foot down, because usually, I'll stop, or I can get forward onto the ground. So I am feeling pretty confident that I'll still be okay. One of the reasons why I went with the Rad Mini after a lot of research was because of how strong and sturdy this mini series of Rad bikes are made. I mean, just like a little tank. So many people, when they see pictures of her, say, gosh, she looks like she is built so sturdy and strong, or like a little tank. And she really is. Majority of the time I am riding on terrain like this. So there is a lot of dirt. I'm on dirt trails, rocky trail and gravel. 99% of the time that I'm riding her is set up for terrain like this, or mountain roads and stuff like that. So she is set up for that kind of situation for me. I wanted a bike that if I did drop it a couple of times, it was going to be okay. So I honestly have to say that I have, dropped her about 5 times. I had one major accident in the beginning because I had wrong tires on her, but I've got the right tires now. So she's got the knobby Crusade tires on that I got from the Rad company, and I absolutely love these tires, and I run them at 10 pounds all the time while I'm out here on this type of terrain. I slipped a little bit when I braked coming down a hill, and then the wind has dropped her a couple of times. So she does have a little bit of scratches you can see, like up and through here. I'll repaint that later and get some paint and fix up so she's not like perfect because it is a year later. But I'm telling you, she's just like a little tank. Just nothing is bent. Everything has withstood any type of falling that has happened. So she has lived up to everything that I thought she was going to handle out here. So this is my Rock Bros. So it's like rock and then BROS trunk and pannier bags. So it is the original one I got a year ago, and I did do a video on all the accessories I originally started with, and I can put a link to that, so if you want to go back and watch that, you can. I still have this and I absolutely still love it. It has definitely been the right choice for me, because the pannier bag does lift up and you can, zip it back inside, but I rarely ever do that. But the one new addition that I got was these basket folding racks, and I have one on each side. So if I did decide to go to maybe a grocery store, if I was close enough to get to one, or find some wood along traveling that in an area, like there's some wood that I could use for a fire, I could actually put the wood on each side of her, or anything heavy. I've got that option. I have used that a couple of times, but honestly not as much as I thought I probably would be using these racks. But they always stay on. I don't take them off, so they're always there available. So I have to just fold this up. I push this in, and then there's a little clip here that I have to pull out, and then get out of the way because this thing is gonna just pop open. Okay, so that has been a great addition to my setup. One of the reasons why I got this trunk bag was because it also had these little compartments and padded, inside trunk area, so I could put my extra camera gear and lenses and things like that inside of here. And this has still worked out just really, really well. And it also comes with a little cover that you can put over the whole trunk, and even the pannier bags as they're down, it goes over the whole thing and protects it if you did get caught in some rain. Okay, and then I got this one because of the extra holder in the back for water. So this fits perfect in here. This is Sendastar, I think is how you pronounce that. And I believe this is the 32 ounce that fits perfectly in this back storage area here, because in the summer and the warmer months I definitely drink a lot more water. And then I do have another one. This is the 20, I think it's either 20 or 24 ounce. It fits perfectly in the front water carrier. Okay, and the other thing I want to show you is inside this pannier bag side, I always keep this little kind of a little carrier. I don't know what you would call it. I found this on Amazon. All of these things I have found on Amazon that's on my bike. But this is called a Matein, M-A-T-E-I-N. I saw this as like a little tool accessory thing, but I thought, oh my gosh, this would be so perfect to be able to keep my extra tools and supplies for my bikes. Instant flat repair, my little tool kit. This here is a little USB rechargeable pump, because if you had to sit here and pump up your tires, I heard like the hand style one, it's going to take a long time to get your air up. And so this one here has a little setting on here, and it's again USB rechargeable. It's a little electric pump, and you just turn it on, and then you just put in the pounds of pressure that you want to have on your tires. So as I said, I keep 10 pounds of pressure. So I go in here and then I set it for 10 pounds, and then I connect this right into here, and then I connect it to my tire, and then I just turn it on, and it'll stop automatically at the pounds of pressure that I set it for. So it'll shut off at the 10 pound. I'm always watching the gauge just to make sure that it does shut off, but that's a nice little feature. It's compact, so it's easy to take with me, and it fits right inside of here very nicely. Another thing I always keep, just pretty much all of the little bike accessory things that I need to keep the bike maintenanced as well. So I have grease. I mostly use what I heard in this type of terrain is I use a ceramic lube. And they have different brands out there. I just happen to have this one, the C3 Muck-Off C3 ceramic lube. The reason why the ceramic is because of the dirt. I'm mostly in dirt. You know, I keep it clean about every week or two. I kind of check it, make sure everything's okay, and do that change, just because of the fact is we are in a lot of dirt, and if you were using any kind of a oil or base or anything like that, all the dirt is just going to be stuck, you know, more to your gears and your chain. So that's what I heard, and it has been working out really, really well. The other thing too in here is a first aid kit, especially when I had my accident. I'll go over that later on. My little tool thing here, I has all of my little wrenches and things that I would need to be able to tighten things down, but I can kind of go over all of that in the future in another video. Right now I just kind of want to show you how I have baby set up for me, more than breaking everything down into in depth. Okay, this fits. See how thin that is? Even if I had a few more extra things in there, this fits just perfectly inside this pannier bag, and it always just stays in here ready to go. And then I put on this side extra clothing, coats, you know, things to be warm, goes on this opposite side. Another new addition to my bike has been putting this front little carrier bag. I was looking for something that was going to fit in between the handlebars, not be too big and too heavy, but yet be able to give me some side compartments, because one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I had on hand with me was being able to carry bear spray. And then on this side I carry a horn, and then I carry a small little pepper spray. Okay, and then I'll go over why I have those things. Inside here I end up putting my camera. So my camera is just way easier to get to, and just put the accessories to my camera in the trunk bag. But it's just a nice size little bag, just perfect to put my camera in, so it's easy to grab. And then also you can put your phone in here. So I really like this, and I found this at Walmart, believe it or not. See, so it fits very perfect right here and great for my needs. Okay, so this one here is pretty easy to just grab out, even if I'm riding. Sometimes I'll even keep this on me. It just depends on really how comfortable I feel riding in a certain area. Like out here, there's nobody out here, so the chance of really seeing somebody out here, then I'm okay with it being in here, or I keep it on my person. I always ride with pants that have these little pockets, so I can also just keep this, you know, right inside here, because this is going to be my next defense, especially against a dog or something. Now bear spray, this just pulls out. I could be riding and boom, pull this out, and I always have it facing out so I could just spray wherever I need to, especially if it's going to be a larger animal I have to defend myself, or an animal that might be a little more vicious. I've got the bear spray as well, ready to go. So this has been my defense, I should say, devices that I take with me. But definitely the first go-to would be the horn and the pepper spray. Okay, so why did I want to have these things? The reason is we did have one incident when Kent and I were riding. He has a rattan e-bike and I have the Rad Mini, and so we were riding and we almost, both of us, but got chased by a pit bull, a guy camping at the end of a road who had a bunch of pit bulls. We got up close enough, we weren't sure what kind of dogs he had, and then they barked and they came running to the road, and then Kent kept going, and then a second I saw the dog, I went, oh no, because I don't feel I'm stable enough or fast enough, especially on this type of terrain, to be able to probably outride or outrun them. So I turned around and I got out of there quickly and went back the direction I came. And then when I turned and I looked, I saw that it was chasing him. He did get away. It was a good ending, but boy, was that an eye-opener of not having something on to defend, because a lot of times we just think of maybe bears or cougars or anything like that, which actually never seen any of that yet. But I'm more concerned about people and their dogs, you know, honestly. So I'm just prepared for anything and everything. So I have a horn as obviously the first defense, and it's right in here, so if I did have to actually push this, I could do it from within here. All I have to do is just push that. It's going to be so loud, I don't have to actually have it out there pointing at the animal. If you have any other ideas, or if you are a bike rider and you've had some incidences or anything you want to share, anything else you can think of that I should be carrying with me, definitely put it in the comments as a protection. I really appreciate that. Now some of the other things that I added on was this extra bar here. Now I'm not able to put the bar on directly in the center because of the shape of the handlebars, so maybe later I'll look for something else. But it doesn't obstruct the way that I'm riding it. I can look beyond that because it is off to the side, but this is so I can put an extra light, and this light is really powerful. It is a USB light, and then next to it I have where I could put my GoPro when I decide to ride with my GoPro. And then I can move this either way. But this thing is so cool to be able to ride with this light if I ever start to get back near sunset. I never ride at night, honestly, but sometimes getting back near dark, that has happened a couple of times, and then I'll use this and the light that comes with my bike. Now this seat here has a cover on it, so it's a gel cover. So I'm not actually able to show you the seat itself because it really is a very tight fit cover, and it's kind of hard to get it on and off, but I knew I wouldn't be needing to take it on and off. So I will insert some pictures of the actual design, the wing style design of this seat, and why it is so great for people with spinal issues. Okay, so we got it all mounted and figured out as far as the angle and everything, and I think this is going to work the best with angling this part down just a little bit, but not too far down. Yeah, it is amazing because the sides actually do spring. You know, when you hit a bump, it does take a lot of the shock. Yeah, it kind of took a little while to get used to the movement of it. It's kind of like that balance thing, but once you ride it and you feel that it just really takes the impact when you hit those bumps, it's really nice. So I think this is definitely what my spine needs. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more of a cushion, though. That's the only negative, is it doesn't have a really big thick cushion. But it's okay. I mean, it's not like horribly bad. Just the impact of taking the shock of hitting the bumps. I mean, I was just riding and on this bumpy terrain, and I hardly even felt the bumps. It was really nice, much easier on my spine. Now, if you're taller than 5'3", this would be just totally 100% perfect for you. And if you're really taller, then I would say probably 5'5" on up, because of on this bike. It depends on the bike, because the problem here is this stem here and from here. So you have a certain depth that this pole has to go down inside. So there's a minimum, kind of like a maximum kind of a situation going on, but especially if you were to raise this up, it has to go down. I think this particular one for this bike, I believe, is 5 inches left down from the bottom part of this down inside. And then, so when it's all the way down, though, I mean, that's no problem going all the way down, but this is about as far down as I can get this thing down. So unfortunately, I cannot do what's called a suspension post, because a suspension post would raise this up, because you need at least 1.5 inches travel for your suspension post. Well, that will raise this up, and then I will no longer be able to touch the ground. So I'm barely able to touch the ground now with this seat on, and this at the lowest level that I can put this seat. But if you are taller than 5'5" and up, definitely I would get this type of seat and add a suspension post, and you're gonna be really dialed in. Even though I'm not able to put the suspension post, this has been an amazing addition, even though I am tippy toes now. I have the mirror style that goes into the end of your handlebar setup, and it comes with a 2-pack, but I ended up just attaching only the one so far, and that's been enough, just so that I can keep an eye if I'm on a dirt road and traveling. If an ATV or vehicle is coming up from behind, I can also see that. I keep checking, mainly for those purposes when I am in an area that has a little bit more OHV traveling around on the dirt roads. So that has been a great addition. And then also this has been nice because it flips in. So if it was to fall or something like that, that would flip back and hopefully protect the mirror. I have actually got this, and I add this to my throttle. I just have to retape it on. They call it a throttle boss, and it's actually made for motorcycles and stuff, to help people with, you know, their throttle. And I got this to help me with my e-bike because of my damaged right thumb. So it's hard for me to turn the throttle. So I'll show you. It might not be clear though. So this is going to go around here, and I had to take it off to rewrap it. Okay, I'm going to actually show you before I wrap it how I position it. So when I put my hand on here, I want the palm of my hand, this part of my hand, to be able to push. So I'm actually able to grab with my fingers, pull up, and I can push down. It really does help a lot with my damaged thumb and everything. And it just really helps for those that just don't want to constantly have their, throttle and be pushing it all the time. Yeah, so I'm going to get it taped now, but that's kind of the right feel and position that I'm looking for to help me. Okay, I got it all taped up. Now, I taped it different this time than the last time. The last time we taped it like around everywhere, this way, around the center, and it just became too much. So I tried just to go around the center, several times, just around and around, pulled it tight. I think that's going to work out better with it. It's cleaner and in a really great spot and position to help me to push down. And it really makes an amazing difference. I tried riding it yesterday without it on, and it did not go very well. So, back ready to ride again. Well, the sun is setting. I'm starting to lose daylight, but I wanted to hopefully get this done. So this is, again, most of the accessories that I have added onto my bike. Why I got this bike was because of how sturdy, strong, that I know this Rad Mini series is. Can't say enough about it a year later. I've been very happy with my purchase of this bike. She is 68 pounds though with the battery and all, and I believe the battery is either 6 or 7 pounds, so minus that when you take your battery off. So no matter what, the bike is still 60 pounds. So I will say that she is very heavy, a little bit, hard to maneuver, whereas some women at my height might find it a little bit hard to move around that kind of weight. But that's why I do exercises. I do lots of stretches and arm exercises. I do a lot of PT exercises for my spine. I try my best to keep as strong and keep my mobility up so that I can continue to handle and maneuver a bike of this weight. So keep that in mind, because these e-bikes can be heavy. The more things you add on to it, you're going to add weight to it, and you got to be able to handle that. But I never go any faster than probably 10 to 15 miles per hour on the dirt roads. So I hope you found this video interesting and the way that I have her set up. If you have any questions or anything you would like to add to, maybe something you've added to your bike if you have a bike, just put it down in the comment, and I look forward to seeing what you have to say. But really the fun part of getting an e-bike, I have to say, is fixing them up and making them your own. Just making them work for your particular needs, and makes the riding go so much easier and more fun as well. Great thing about having all this is when she has fallen too, is this ends up taking a lot of the impact, mostly everywhere, because I always have like jackets and things and like that. If she falls on that side, you have this. So that actually has helped, when she has fallen a couple of times. I love you all. Thanks for coming along my journey, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.